Hi friends, the Finals is a booming new game that's been taking a good number of players from Apex Legends in recent weeks. Even a lot of big Apex Legends content creators have been playing the Finals and even making Finals content instead of Apex Legends content. So, like I've done before with big Apex Legends challenges, I thought I would compare these two games side by side to see what similarities and differences there are, and we'll work out together if it's worth you giving the Finals a go or not, especially if you're not enjoying Apex right now. So let's start with the gameplay. Thinking about the movement side of the Finals first, there are certainly a lot of similarities. You have zip lines in the Finals, which you can bounce off much like a zipline jump in Apex Legends. You can't do the super jumps like you can in Apex though, and there's definitely a lot more variability in Apex Legends in terms of movement than there is in the Finals. However, there are some cool little mechanics in the Finals that mean you do still have a bit of movement. For example, you can do things like bunny hop, and even carrying momentum out of jumps to give you that extra little speed boost. On top of that, you can even have a jump pad as an ability in the Finals. The mechanics themselves are slightly different to Octane's jump pad, but conceptually, they're not that much different. In terms of the extreme movement techniques, things like tap strafing and wall jumping, those are unique to Apex and you won't be able to replicate them exactly in the Finals. One thing that the Finals does have that Apex Legends doesn't have though is destructive buildings and scenery. It feels almost like a Battlefield game in some parts. Obviously, the most you can destroy in Apex Legends is pretty much the doors. And I have to say, I do like this mechanic in the Finals. It really gives the game an extra twist, and it certainly gives you as a player a lot more control over how you approach different situations. The second part of gameplay is the gunplay. The recoil patterns of some weapons in the Finals do feel strangely similar to some weapons in Apex Legends. I'm thinking mainly of the assault rifles in the Finals, compared to the R301 in Apex Legends. If you shoot at a wall in the Finals with the assault rifle, you'll notice how close that pattern is. Ultimately though, in terms of general gunplay and specifically the weapons, I feel like Apex Legends does have a wider variety and a wider customizability in terms of you can choose which attachments you pick up and equip. The Finals doesn't quite offer that range at the moment, but I do assume it will come in time. Overall though, thinking about gameplay with these two components, personally, I still think Apex Legends is just smoother and better, but the Finals isn't awful. Certainly on the movement part, there's a lot more there than you would expect from a normal typical arena shooter. Next up, let's compare the game modes themselves. This is probably where the biggest difference is, and perhaps where the Finals is a little more restricted. Apex Legends, with the launch of Mixtape and its intermittent LTMs, these days has quite a nice variety to go along with its core Battle Royale mode. Now I know content can be a little dry in Apex Legends, and I would like them to refresh these things a little bit more frequently, particularly with the LTMs. However, you do still have quite a wide variety if you think about it. Not quite to Fortnite levels, but when you think about the Finals, its core concept in all of its current modes is essentially to just collect cash. But what that means is the Finals is a little bit more restricted in terms of the variety you get compared to Apex Legends. One good thing about the Finals is that it does have a competitive mode. It's called Tournament Mode, and in there you've got a ranked and unranked version. Of course, one of Apex Legends' biggest selling points is that it's got a really good competitive aspect to the game, and in particular its ranked system. Unfortunately for Apex, in the last couple of seasons, the ranked system's gone through some changes that the community doesn't particularly like. In particular, the new scoring and MMR system, along with that sweaty matchmaking which has just evolved into being a not so enjoyable experience and at times just completely unplayable. So the Finals does provide some opportunity for you to get your competitive thrills if you're getting tired of Apex Legends' sweaty matchmaking. One other thing that's worth noting around the game modes is that all of the final modes are 3-person teams, which obviously is quite similar to Apex Legends' classic trios and Battle Royale, and even Gun Run in Apex Legends, as well as a lot of the LTMs. The final thing I would like to compare is the lore. One of the special things about Apex Legends is the way the story shapes up the game. When you're watching the cinematics or thinking about the lore, you really genuinely think it could be a TV show or a movie. What's funny though is that the background of the Finals as a game is strangely similar to Apex Legends, at least in terms of core concept. You see, the finals is a televised game show set in a virtual world. Contestants are relatively unknown, but when they join the finals and it gets televised, they step into a world of riches and fame. Is that starting to sound familiar? That's almost identical to Apex Legends. I guess the only slight difference would be that VR element, which the finals definitely plays up a lot. Although having said that, ironically, one of the popular fan theories around the Apex Legends lore community has been that the Apex games actually take place in a virtual world, and that's how the legends can be respawned and how they don't die. It's fair to say that's been debunked by the creative writers, but it's still funny that the finals kind of takes that concept and essentially turns it into the core of its story. Of course, we do also know that the Apex games itself is televised across the Outlands, so there are definitely a lot of similarities between the finals and the lore of Apex Legends. I think one thing I would finish by saying in terms of comparing this lore is that Apex Legends does have a richer lore and backstory than the finals, but then again some of that is because Titanfall, which Apex Legends is set within the same universe, brings such a rich lore and fanbase as well, and it's something that the finals doesn't really have, especially because it's a new IP that's just launched. And they have it. Those are some of the key similarities and differences between the finals and Apex Legends. If you're still debating if it's worth playing, from a personal opinion, I'd say it's a free game, so there's no harm in trying it, and I feel like there are enough similarities with Apex Legends for you to be able to enjoy the finals to some degree. Personally though, I don't feel it's got as much longevity as Apex Legends does, and that's purely because at the moment the finals is quite restricted in terms of how the game plays out and also the game modes that you've got. That doesn't mean the finals can't introduce other elements that make the game fun, and maybe they will do that in the future. But right now, if you're comparing like for like, I feel like the finals is a nice way for you to have a bit of a break from Apex Legends. Ultimately though, I just feel like Apex Legends still has that edge. It still gives you that rush of adrenaline. And if they were to fix the matchmaking in SBMM, I feel like Apex Legends just overall is a way better game than the finals. They are two slightly different categories though, it's hard to compare a battle royale to an objective based arena game. But there's my summary for you. If you're still debating whether it's worth trying or not, I'd say give it a go. I've got a Christmas video coming up this Sunday, so keep a lookout for that. For now though, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later.